everyone, welcome along PHTV. Georgia Johnson is here. Lovely to see you, Georgia.
Lovely to see you too.
You have done an amazing trip with your family. Tell us about it. Where'd you go?
Yes, very, very lucky. We've just returned from 5 weeks in Africa. Started in Kenya, in Nairobi, and then went along to the Masai Mara, where we had some fabulous experiences there, meeting local villagers. We stayed in a conservancy, actually, like a area that is run by local Maasai tribesmen and work in conjunction with the people in the area to conserve wildlife.
Yep.
So it's brilliant wildlife viewing there. There's no poaching in that area, so we had some fabulous sightings. After the Maasai, we went up to North Kenya to the Mount Kenya region, Laikipia region, and we stayed on a working cattle property, which is interesting. So the local people there run their cattle ranch, and they run it in conjunction with and sympathetically with the local wildlife.
Yep.
So we got to sort of live the locals' life there, and again went out and met some villagers, saw an amazing amount of wildlife. Kenya's beautiful. I could have spent weeks longer in Kenya. Yeah, it was a fabulous.
Because everyone talks about the big five. You see these animals in the wild, like as great as zoos are and national parks. This is what you want to do. There's
no comparison to even our open range zoos that we have here, and to see them in the wild in Africa where they actually are living free and relaxed now, thankfully, to the anti-poaching laws in a lot of areas. It's beautiful, and then the local people that take you around and show you, and they're not scared. You can get really close to the wildlife, so you don't need the enormous lenses these days. We managed quite fine, the three of us, with just the modest camera stuff we had. But yeah, you can get really close up and see some fabulous and huge volumes of animals.
I know you've done Africa before. You've done it with your family now, with your husband and your daughter. What's it like? You're driving around. The people that are watching, should we all experience Africa?
You should all experience Africa at some point, definitely. I would say, 3 weeks is your absolute minimum to get a couple of different regions in. Kenya, maybe Tanzania to the crater area. The Ngorongoro crater is a pretty popular spot to visit some fabulous wildlife. We spent a lot of time in Namibia. Namibia is a very arid desert country, Namib Desert on the Atlantic Ocean. We probably travelled about 3,000 kilometres through there, and again, very different, very vast, but fabulous to be able to go and experience that on our own time, I suppose. Yeah.
What an experience for you and your husband. What about your 18-year-old daughter, though? That's something she'll take with her forever.
Yes, she will. She was blown away. I think we were blown away, but the 18-year-old daughter actually wanted to travel with mum and dad for 5 weeks, and we did a lot of it in a Land Cruiser. So we were very close together, and we tented, and we stayed in hotels, and we stayed in lodges. But yeah, it was fabulous. Something I don't think she'll ever forget.
So if people want to go, Kenya's on the list.
Kenya's definitely on the
list.
list. Kenya for sure. A couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in Kenya. Namibia, if you love that, the vast open places and spaces, and you're happy to do some, self-driving. And there's some fantastic places to stay in Namibia. And then we headed down to South Africa after that, just along the coast, and finished up in the wine regions. The beautiful wine regions of South Africa.
Georgia, thank you for letting us know. You've got to experience Africa, folks. You can find out more at the 10 Phil Hoffman Travel offices, online at pht.com.au. Keep checking the social media channels, and you too can have an African adventure.
Thank you.